Freestyle the news. I'm shocked, that's crazy, who the fuck thought? It just hit me and my whole world stopped. I've been listening to everyone talk, oh God, I'm shocked. Drake records kinda sound too pop, getting real slow if your ass get blocked. Taylor on Fox like a new psyop, oh gosh, like America never racist. Someone asked Nikki to run with her old name. Catch a Pokemon with a Uzi, we might stay friends. Weather turning half of the country to full glaciers. Relatable as fuck, you talk like a Kardashian. Illustrated sports to the layoffs are too active. Say it's not AI till you end up just like magic. Gauges that look tragic, put them back in the setting and down him like old Alec. That's the wrong text. Ignore Downey like there's Marvel in this big check. A war coming, everybody want a big flex. No, really sorry like a ukulele message that they gave him back in Netflix. Watch him come around, shit that was quicker than Vivek did. Trump and Biden showdown, we gon' hear it for the next 10 months until election. Remember when these people like better check on DeSantis? Yo, kidding me? Like Ryan G here winning it over Billy E. Lindsay saw the reference and thought it was pretty fucking mean. Order in a vision, I'm breaking out every fucking meme. There goes the neighborhood, I swear that that's entertainment. Pump that war, you scared who might shake this. MLK Day, you mask off the racist. Turning point came, but Charlie ain't changed shit. People see the game this year, got me anxious. Everybody living in the wrong space, kinda like a picture up on Twitter where you hanging out with Kanye. Shocked, I'm shocked, that's crazy, who the fuck thought? It just hit me and my whole world stopped. I've been listening to everyone talk, oh God, I'm shocked. Reboot Wizards back on my spot. Back into the desert, no doubts on top. Trying to keep it extra like an eBay doc. So God, like too soon. I'm not gonna lie to you. I had to get ready like last minute to do this, and I'm very happy with how I'm feeling myself with how I look right now. But I haven't been to the gym though, so I feel like I'm a plus size genie right now. Hey, thank you guys so much for watching Freestyle the News. If you like what you heard, please overthrow that king after 3 witches tell you that you will eventually be the king of Scotland. Kill your closest friend in your thirst for power. And then as time goes on, you start to get paranoid. The revolutionaries are mounting up and your wife starts to go crazy. She can't get this blood spot out of her hand like at all. So you go to the witches. You're like, hey, listen, I'm kind of freaked out. Like, is a like button going to kill me eventually? And the witch is like, dude, you good. No like button born from a woman shall kill you. But then the revolution comes and you're fighting this one like button. You're like, listen, the witches told me I'm good, yo. Like no like button born from a woman is ever gonna kill me. And that like button's like, bitch, I was ripped from my mom's womb. I wasn't even born. This is Macbeth, by the way. If you didn't know, it's a giant Macbeth reference. Guys, we're into week 2 of FSTN 2024. I'm having a good time. I hope you are. Okay, so let's just jump into this breakdown real quickly. And it was kind of a weird week because honestly, for like a good majority of the week, it felt very slow in terms of news, right? The news was kind of dominated specifically by Donald Trump's win in Iowa, as well as like all of the massive award shows going on, like the Emmys or the Critics' Choice Awards, or anything to do with Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. I'm sorry. I don't care that they're leaving a game. I don't. Great. They're walking out of somewhere. Mazel tov. But the end of the week had a lot of significant turns, so we have quite a bit to talk about. And let's start off with 2 seismic shifts in the media landscape: the end of Sports Illustrated and the end of Pitchfork. Now, I'm being slightly hyperbolic on the latter, but the former looks pretty bad. So let's start off here. Sports Illustrated has laid off almost all of its unionized staff. This coming just a day after Arena Group announcing a substantial reduction in workforce. Arena said it's still trying to deal with substantial debt and a lot of missed payments, and the layoffs were part of, quote, cost-cutting measures to initiate a transformative shift towards a streamlined business model. This is from NBC News, by the way. Now, the union for Sports Illustrated writers was devastated by this, vowing to make sure that the company lives up to its agreements for all of the employees under their contracts. And this comes less than a month after Sports Illustrated was caught using AI to generate articles. Now, there's a lot to be said about this, but this is a huge deal. Beyond just sports, Sports Illustrated was such an incredible force in terms of like writing and journalism. A lot of writers that you know today were inspired by Sports Illustrated copy. And you can see all over social media journalists like Gene Park feeling absolutely devastated by this happening. And this comes after a large amount of layoffs over 2023 for different, look, news has been getting hit pretty bad. And that brings us to our next story, Pitchfork merging with GQ. It was announced today by owner Condé Nast, I hope I'm saying that right, that Pitchfork, the music publication that lived through several eras including MP3s, piracy, the streaming age, would be merged with GQ under that publication. In addition to that, massive layoffs hit the company. Half of the staff of Pitchfork was laid off. That includes the editor-in-chief, Pooja Patel, with a statement by Anna Wintour, aka real-life evil Meryl Streep. Today, we are evolving our Pitchfork team structure by bringing the team into the GQ organization. This decision was made after a careful evaluation of Pitchfork's performance and what we believe is the best path forward for the brand so that our coverage of music can continue to thrive within the company. It was also reported that Anna Wintour did not remove her sunglasses as all of this happened. Again, this is another seismic shift in media. Pitchfork has been around forever, and listen, I am not the biggest fan of Pitchfork. There was a lot of snarkiness that Pitchfork brought to the table, but at the same time, they did a lot to open up music culture and build on music culture so that we had this really great environment of people trying to listen to new sounds and really diving into different types of music. And then again, this comes shortly after Bandcamp was acquired, and their editorial team saw some huge changes from the people who acquired them. And the Bandcamp editorial was a great place to find music. A lot of people are very worried about the future of music discovery with these things happening. And I'll be very honest, it is troubling with the corporatization of everything, the fact that AI was used just a month before all the Sports Illustrated writers were laid off. And look, I don't necessarily think this is the end of music discovery journalism or sports journalism. I do think that it's changing. You know, a lot of people go to different sources. Music journalism and sports journalism have a much wider pool of tastemakers now. A lot of YouTubers are the go-to for a lot of music. Anthony Fontano, Sean C. For sports journalism, you do have Barstool Sports. I'm not a fan of Dave Portnoy, but Barstool is huge in that realm. Stephen A. Smith has his own show. Like, the media ecosystem is fundamentally changing. Now, again, Pitchfork isn't dead, but I do wish that these organizations did have a little bit more room to kind of breathe and be themselves. And it's really, really sad that a lot of these news organizations are really feeling the hit of last year. But we'll have to wait and see. Let me know what you think of all of these journalistic shakeups in the comments. And speaking of music, let's talk about Drake versus Yasiin Bey, formerly known as Mos Def. Now, I didn't think a lot of people saw this clip or really heard of this clip, and then it just snowballed and snowballed and snowballed, and now it's an enormous discussion in hip-hop. So let's see it.
Like, is Drake hip-hop? We're here for truth.
In the sense, like, if I was in Target in Houston and I heard a Drake song, so it feels like a lot of his music is compatible with shopping.
Now, obviously, there are two ways you could take this. Man, Yasiin's not really that much of a fan of Drake, but he's being put in a weird position. He's trying to be nice about it, or, oh, these motherfuckers trying to beef. The internet chose the latter, and very, very quickly, it just kind of spiraled out of control. And to be fair, I think Yasiin kind of knew what he was doing. Just the reactions and the body language are just kind of like throwing shade. And I mean, like, and Drake responded first with a clip about the culture of hip hop, and then commenting on an article that referenced somebody Bey used to be married to, commenting Bohemian Bucket. And if you don't know what bucket is, it's a slang for crackhead in Toronto. I'll be very real. I don't think this beef is great. I don't think it's, let's start with this. I think both responses are unnecessary shade that shouldn't have been thrown. Drake should definitely not escalate it, but Yasiin should have known how media works. Yasiin Bey has dealt with media hit jobs before. Like, specifically, there was a point where he was on Bill Maher and railroaded specifically by Maher. And secondly, I think gatekeeping in hip hop is just fucking bad. It's awful. The worst thing you can do is say something is real hip hop versus fake hip hop, or something is pop or hip hop. Hip hop at one point was the most popular type of music, and at times during the year, it is the most popular type of music. So of course you're going to see reflectiveness with pop and hip hop. I don't think it's a good thing for you to kind of differentiate those. And I'll tell you this, my teacher from Berkeley, the reason you like what I do here, there was a point where I was just a one-trick pony, where I wasn't really good at all this shit. And the thing that opened me up and made me learn a lot was, while I was saying shit like, oh, Drake isn't real hip hop, oh, this guy isn't real hip hop, or this guy isn't real hip hop, I had a teacher who said, yeah, shut the fuck up. You're allowed to dislike them, but you need to know why people like them and why they're doing what they're doing. There's something you're not getting. And that's why every new style that comes out, it's definitely not my cup of tea, but I learn it. And I learn what the ins and outs of it are. And if I want to use it, I can. I don't listen to the Migos all the time, but I know the style and I know the positives and negatives of it. I don't know. I just think gatekeeping is bad. The spirit of this whole thing isn't great. And I'm a big Yasiin Bey fan, especially from The New Danger. But you know, come on, man. Also, quick note, and I'm just adding this as an update on my phone. JPEGMAFIA and Kanye West. There was a picture that is going around right now with JPEGMAFIA and Kanye West. Super disheartening. A lot of people were very, very disheartened by this because JPEG has spoken out in his music against white nationalism and everything like that. And Kanye West, with his titanium bracers, has done the opposite. Looking at it now, because I actually didn't know this came from a tweet directly from JPEGMAFIA, it seems like he's teasing a collab on Vultures, which is pretty disappointing. I don't know why he did it. Anthony Fontana has a really, really good take on it. But, you know, I just think Kanye needs his space because he's crazy and has said a lot of dumbass shit. Anyway, let's move on to, hey, by the way, do you like Pokemon? Also, do you like guns? Well, the newest game, Palworld, has taken Steam by storm, passing 500,000 concurrent players very, very quickly. If you don't know Palworld, it's kind of like Pokemon with guns. You can play multiplayer. It seems really, really good. It's getting a lot of really, really good praise. And this is actually just in early access. The servers are still struggling to deal with all of these players just jumping in. Me personally, I haven't played it. I'm kind of going back through Red Dead Redemption again. But if anything, it puts Nintendo on notice like, hey, you have some competition, so maybe bug test the game before you release it. Also, I should mention there's been a little bit of controversy around the game. A lot of people who are Pokemon fans accusing the developers of ripping off Pokemon and then possibly using AI imagery and art. That kind of set the internet on fire a little bit alongside this news, but there isn't any substantial evidence that AI art has been used in this game, even though the CEO of the company that made Palworld has kind of flirted with the ideas of AI art. There's no definitive evidence that they're using AI to create these monsters. And legally, if we're being very honest, even the derivativeness of Pokemon, that could be seen as interpolation. As somebody who's done a lot of hip hop, I can empathize with that. If anything changes in the future, obviously, you know, we'll talk about it, and it needs to be looked at, right? But for right now, there's no concrete evidence. The game seems to be doing really, really well. As of this recording, it reached 1 million concurrent players on Steam, which is insane. And last but not least, we're here, guys. We gotta talk about it. It's here. I know. I see it. The Iowa caucus happened on Monday, and guess who won? Guess who won? Have you looked up at all? Has any newspaper not stated what happened in Iowa yet? Oh yeah, Donald Trump won. What? That's what? The guy leading in the polls for months, not having gone to a single debate for months, while still leading, won? Now listen, DeSantis finished in a distant second, Haley right after him, and Vivek Ramaswamy dropped out and endorsed Trump immediately. What? Oh no, that guy? I couldn't. No one saw. Do you get what I'm going here? All predictable theater, all predictable steps, all frustrating steps, especially because it's very clear we're probably going to have Trump v. Biden too. And listen, Trump is an extraordinarily weak candidate, but all of these primary challengers are additionally weak candidates. Oh man, weird sociability, the lack of charisma. You thought Biden had gaffes. Nikki Haley at one point said that America has never been a racist country. A lot has been made of this. Very clearly, 1960 Jim Crow. Believe it or not, that's an understandable gaffe in marketing. You're trying to make a point, but your point supersedes reality and history because you're not thinking about it, you're thinking about making the point. Cool. You doubled the fuck down on it when challenged. Why? She said, we've always tried to do the right thing. Nikki, slavery. Nikki, you can't use your birth name. Do you understand? You had to change your name to be more palatable for the GOP. I know about this. My name is Zed, but it's spelled Z-A-I-D, and I'm still rocking this motherfucker, and they still get it wrong. It's fine. It's fine. It's not Starbucks. You're fucking me up. Meanwhile, Trump is going on dictatorial rants on Truth Social saying that the president should have complete immunity while he is president, which is just fucking batshit, which would mean that Joe Biden can just become a dictator tomorrow by Trump's definition, which is fucking stupid. Have you ever heard of checks and balances? I told you before, this year is going to be messy. The one silver lining I will say in all of this is that ahead of time in January, people are like, yo, actually, this seems kind of serious. The tone last year was very dismissive of this election, like, yo, fuck Biden, fuck all this shit. We don't need to engage with it. Right now, it seems like, oh, this is kind of fucking serious. Yeah, it is. Everybody is sounding the alarm. And if I can be completely honest, I think the best video you can watch about the morality and the ideas of voting is Olay's guide that she posted like just a couple weeks ago. It's long, but again, throw it on in the background, supremely engaging, tons of interviews, tons of really thought-provoking stuff. It's probably the best video I've seen on this topic and the frustration on having to vote with the Republican and the Democrats' politics at play, but I think it's essential viewing, and I really do think that Donald Trump sucks. I don't like this fucking guy. It's pretty clear he was probably gonna be the nominee, and I think DeSantis still smiles weird. You're just fucking weird, bro. Like, it's just weird. Also, I fucking told you about Vivek. Didn't I tell you? I want everybody to look up the episodes past. I told you about Vivek. That motherfucker wasn't gonna do shit. Everybody was like, oh, he's rising in the polls. No, he won't. No, he won't. He's the Indian guy who tells you all about cars, and he's owned a Corolla once. That's gonna do it for today's show. Thank you guys so much for watching. I have a great piece about physical media on the last Zed Talk, so you can click right there, check it out. You can check out last week's Freestyle the News. Sign up for Too Soon Crew. And anyway, my name is Tabani, and I'll see y'all soon. Let's go!